actually have someone who I want you to meet today.
Okay.
He's a friend of mine. His name is
Johnny Wimbrey,
Best-selling author.
Motivational speaker. He's author of the book
From the Hood to Doing Good.
and I thought that he would be someone that you need to meet. Johnny, would you please come out?
Welcome to the Johnny Wimbrey Show. We're talking about overcoming adversity, pushing yourself to the other side.
Helping Jeff in his fight, life coach Johnny Wimbrey.
You have to be confident and not arrogant. Who would ever think that someone with my past, I made a lot of bad decisions, but my past has nothing to do with my future. Where I come from doesn't have to dictate where I'm going.
You know, think about people who made history in our world. You know, Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King, Gandhi. No experience. They led with passion.
If there's one successful person on the planet, just one, then all I said was me too. I like to represent things that are bigger than all of us. It's something that's going to outlive us. I believe that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
In just a few minutes, one of them is going to walk out of here with $25,000 to grow their business thanks to Johnny.
And this is an opportunity just to show that we care. I'm an investor and an incredible respect for money because I know what it's like not to have any. First memory in life was living in a battered women's shelter because of what I went through in my life. How much longer do you want to have this problem? You're ignoring something. My father is an alcoholic. Think about that word deception. I mean, would deception be deception if it were obvious? You'd be the last person to know.
Police investigating the death of Michael Jackson believe that doctors may have written him prescriptions in exchange for money.
There are people who are dead today that would not have been dead if there were doctors who were using their authority the right way. You can't follow a parked car. We follow people and we are mentored by people who look good, they sound good, they're packaged right. But you haven't even checked the hood to see if there's an engine in the car. A dog doesn't even bark at a parked car. Why would you follow one? You understand that? Is it connecting? Yes. You can't get something different without doing something different.
What's the key to his sobriety? Wanting it, believing that it's possible.
You got access to me now.
Okay.
Look at me, you got access. Use it.
Thank you, Johnny. Come back, please.
Johnny's book, From the Hood to Doing Good, is available now, and everyone in the audience is going home with the copy.
Thank you, Johnny. That was wonderful. Thank you.
You're incredibly
I appreciate
welcome.
you coming.
It's about that time. I hope you got your people on. We've been trying to tell you. We gave you warning. We said get out those messages because we have an incredibly special guest lined up for you today. That's right. None other than Mr. Johnny Wimbrey. Let us tell you a little bit about him before we bring him on set. We just want to let you guys know that this gentleman has quickly achieved in his own right icon status in this industry. He had his last company. He was the top earner, earning some serious cashola. He was earning the cheese, and he was leading a global organization, mentoring people even outside of network marketing. He's like public speaker.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Companies have him coming in.
They pay him lots of money.
They pay him to come and talk to their folks, to speak, and to help people just perform better and to do better and to have a bigger vision for their life. But you know what else? You know what else, Mark? I've had a chance to meet his family. And, on top of all of that, not only is he incredibly successful, not only has he just crushed it in network marketing and he's crushing it here at iBoomerang and building a great team. But you know what? He's an incredible family man. He and his family, if you have a chance to just kind of see them interact, whether you see them live or in social media, you can say, you know what? Everybody sees that and say hashtag goals. Family goals, right? Because they just have so much love and they're such a tight unit and everybody is just striving. So we're excited that we get a chance to bring him on set today because he is going to share with you some invaluable tips on how to just totally energize your business and energize your life. Now, if you don't have one of these ready, right?
You better get it now.
You better get it now.
Run.
Exactly.
Go find it.
Because you know what? If you try to write these notes on your hand, you're going to run out of space.
Yeah.
All right? So without any further ado, we want to bring on set today none other than Mr. Johnny Wimbrey. Awesome.
What's up?
What's up?
Thank you guys.
All right.
My butt's in the camera probably, but
Well, no,
all good.
We don't even have you on camera yet. We just
Okay.
give you a chance to get set. Here you go. Take some
All right,
photos.
very good.
All right. Now let's make sure you're looking good here.
All right. Please. I have to work really hard to make me look good.
There you go, everybody.
All right. What's up? Boomerang in the building. Appreciate that, guys. Super excited to be here with you. I'm going to jump right into the purpose and the reason of me being here. And I'm excited because I got the big Boomerang sign behind me right here. I'm at the corporate headquarters here in Houston, Texas, where about 8, 9, maybe even 10,000 people will be ascending upon Houston in the next 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks from today?
Yes.
2 weeks from yesterday.
Yeah.
2 weeks from 2 days ago for me. I got to get in early. So thanks again. Hopefully everybody, you've tagged all your team members and you have everybody live with us right now. This is going to be one of those types of trainings where you're going to want to listen and re-listen and re-listen and re-listen again. Why? I think it was Dale Carnegie who said that repetition is the mother of all skill. Repetition is the mother of all skill. Repetition is the mother of all skill. Why does he keep saying that? Because repetition is the mother of all skill. So I want you to know that this is one of those messages that I want you to repeat. We got a little background story on me, and I appreciate that introduction. And, you know, I was the guy that has always entertained being successful. And if that's not you, it's okay, because everybody has a different definition of success. What I really want you to do is right now is tap into your why, your WHY. Why are you here? Why are you a part of this company? Why did you say yes? I want you to deal with you right now, because what I really want to do is I want you to create that mindset that connects you with your why, that pushes you and it keeps you like grounded, if that makes sense, in terms of the future. Why? Because you're going to go through the goods, the bad, and the ugly. Every entrepreneur does. So yes, we are a part of an incredible industry called network marketing. Yes, we are a part of an incredible company called iBoomerang. Even with that, you're gonna go through the good, the bad, and the ugly. But if you attach yourself to your why, if you can somehow, emotionally, somehow, even in your body, physically, in your chemistry, can connect to the moment when you said yes, that can be your bulletproof foundation. What do I mean by that? Write this down, PDM. It's your personal defining moment. And this is what worked for me. When I joined this industry, I was 25 years old. As a matter of fact, it was February the 11th of the year 2000. So in a few days, that's 20 years. Like, I was the young kid in the room. I was a young kid, you know, sitting next to the mentor. I was that young guy that was super excited about being successful. I just really didn't have, not necessarily the roadmap. I didn't have the vehicle or the people that I could attach myself to that's going to take me to the next level until I found out about the network marketing industry. But my personal defining moment, all of us have this. And that personal defining moment is the moment you said yes. When somebody showed you iBoomerang, when they showed you iDecide, when you saw a presentation, when you saw a video, whatever it is, the moment you said yes, you were invincible. The moment you said yes, that was your personal defining moment. I compare it to, you gotta really understand how powerful the mind is. How powerful the mind is. Have you ever had a nightmare before? And if I asked some of you guys, if I had time, I would ask, and some of the guys you would type in the chat. What are some of the characteristics or some of the things that happen when somebody has a nightmare? How do you know? Like, what manifests in the middle of a nightmare? Wake up in a sweat. Wake up, your heart is beating. Scared out of your mind. Here's the crazy thing. You went to sleep in a very peaceful situation. 99.9% of the people who fall asleep are in a peaceful situation. So you fall asleep in a peaceful situation, nothing else changes but your mind. Your mind is so powerful that even though you're in a peaceful situation, your mind can convince you that you're in the midst of hell, you're in the midst of trauma, you're in the midst of devastation, and your mind tells your body to start producing these reactions that cause you to sweat, your heart beats, you scream, whatever it is. And it never really even happened. That's what I call putting a boogeyman in the closet that never even existed. That's what's going to happen to you as you progress down on this journey of entrepreneurialism. And I want to talk to you like this is your first day in the business. This is your first day. You just started. I just started. This is day one. So repeat after me. This is day one, and I boomerang. I'm talking to me too. This is how I keep myself going in the midst of adversity. It's super simple for me because I think to myself, how powerful is my mind? And the second thing is, what am I going to allow to enter my mind that's going to distract me or propel me? There is no in between. Either you're going to pay attention to the excuses of why it won't work, or you're going to pay attention to the opportunities of why it will work. You can't have both at the same time. You have to subscribe to which one you want. Do you want excuses? There's no success with excuses. Or do you want money? One of them you got to let go of. You cannot have simultaneously both at the exact same time. And I'm talking to me right now. Some of the hardest messages that I ever deliver is to me. Because I remind myself, Johnny, you're focusing on excuses right now. You're focusing on excuses. So let's go back to that nightmare. If your mind has that kind of power to convince your body, to convince your emotions, to convince, everything that's chemically happening in your body to believe that whatever you're thinking in the midst of that dream, in the midst of that nightmare is real, and your body begins to submit to your thinking. Keyword submit. It begins to submit to your thinking, and it causes you to believe that it's actually happening. Well, that's how powerful your mind is. So let's go back to that personal defining moment, that PDM. Your mind is powerful even when you're awake. The moment you said yes, here's what I want you to understand. In the midst of a nightmare, you're in a peaceful situation because you're asleep. But even in the midst of that nightmare, even though peace is all around you, your mind is telling you it's not peaceful anymore. So your mind has the power to control your body. That's where the heartbeat starts. That's a lot of control. You got a lot of power in that brain. There's a lot of power going up here. When it happens here, your body begins to manifest it, right? So the same thing happened when you said yes to iBoomerang. Every reason you should have said no. It's a scam. It's one of those things. Oh my God. All that was still all around you. But for some reason, you tapped into a yes. That's my personal defining moment. When I was 25 years old on February 11th of the year 2000, I said yes to the network marketing industry. That was my personal defining moment. I would not be here today 20 years later. Billions of dollars in revenue. I would not be here today if I didn't train myself to tap into the moment that I said yes, because that's what I want to subscribe to. I want to subscribe to that because that's my moment. I want every single one of you that listen to me right now to have your moment right now. Your personal defining moment. Why? Because somebody's going to tell you no. And what happens when someone says no, it's going to affect you if you don't understand your personal defining moment. So here's what I'm going to do. The first step is we're going to hit a reset button. Everybody put their right hand in the air, left hand in the air. It doesn't matter to me. And on the count of 3, we're going to reset. And the reason I say this is because I know many of you are listening to me right now, and this goes for me too. And maybe you've seen Edwin Haynes training. Maybe you've seen Holton training. Maybe you've seen, many of the top level leaders trainings, and you're saying to yourself, man, if I would have started like that, I wouldn't be where I am. And what happens is you subscribe to the way that you started, and you start kicking yourself and beating yourself up saying, I didn't know about the calendar when I started. I didn't use iDecide when I started. I didn't know how to promote for events when I started. It's okay. The cool thing about being an entrepreneur in the network marketing field, you can fire yourself, turn around, and rehire yourself. And this is what we're about to do. We're about to forgive each other, forgive ourselves more likely. We're going to forgive ourselves for everything that we have put in our head that we have done wrong since we've started. Are you ready? And when you put your hand down on the count of 3, that's the reset, man. It is the reset. And I understand the reset. Listen, I made a lot of bad decisions in life. I wrote the book From the Hood to Doing Good. I talk about a lot of the bad decisions that I made in my life, and I had to have a reset. I had to have that mental and emotional reset of forgiveness for myself so I can start over. And when you put your hand down on the count of 3, this is really your reset. 1. And the most important thing is you got to understand that you deserve a reset. If anybody deserves another opportunity in life, it's you. If anybody deserves the opportunity to forgive themselves and start from scratch, it's you too. If anybody deserves to get back in motion again and not looking back, that's what the enemy wants you to do. The enemy wants you to look back and focus on everything that you did wrong. You see, I'm pointing backwards. I'm not looking backwards. I didn't forget about my past. I know that it's there, but I'm focused on my future. If you really want this thing to work in your life, if you really want this thing called iBoomerang to work in your life, you've got to hit that reset button. And you're going to do it again at some point. But right now, we're going to hit that reset button. 3, reset. Welcome to iBoomerang. This is your first day, and I'm excited to have you. And I'm excited this is my first day as well. I want to talk about your character. Character is who you are when nobody else is around. I'm doing a lot of mindset stuff right now because I truly want you to be successful. We have the how-tos. The systems are in place. But I want to deal with you. I want to deal with you. True character is who you are when nobody else is around. I once heard someone say that you can always define the size of a person's character by the size of the obstacle that it takes to overcome them. Let me repeat that. You can always judge the size of a person's character by the size of the obstacle that it takes to overcome them. The last time that I dropped the ball and I didn't pick it back up, whatever caused me to drop that ball was bigger than my character. This is me being real. This is me being very open with you. The last time Johnny Wimbrey gave up on something, whatever caused me to give up was bigger than my character. See, this is the kind of language that really, really gets under my skin. And this is how I have to talk to myself. Some of you are just like, oh, you're going to be okay. That's not what creates success. What creates success is iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron. So Johnny has to sharpen himself with hard talk. Johnny, the last time someone said no to you and you said, screw it, I'm going home, I'm going to the bar. That no was bigger than my character. So you got to identify this. This is self-inventory right now. And self-inventory is not just adding up the good things, qualities about yourself. It's also understanding your weaknesses. You got to take an account for both sides because you got to identify it. And I'm identifying with the fact that, sorry, if something caused me to say no, or if something caused me to want to give up, whatever that was bigger than my character. Thank you. I have water right here. So you got to ask yourself, how much longer do you want to have that problem? How much longer do you want to have the problem of allowing a no to be bigger than your character? I love it. I'm reading right now. Reset. Self-inventory. There you go. When you can take an account of the things that are happening inside you that are building you up, as well as the things that are tearing you down, that's self-inventory. So how big is your character? How big is your character? Someone said, no, I don't want to join your team. No, I don't want to become a free customer. And that causes you to say, wah, it ain't gonna work. iBoomerang doesn't work. No, your character doesn't work. Your character's not big enough. It's like, man, I thought he was a motivational speaker. Why is he talking to us like that? Well, I'm not that type of motivational speaker that's just going to tell you what you hear. As a matter of fact, I don't consider myself a motivational speaker at all. I consider myself a success coach. So, moving on. I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to give you a visual so you'll understand what I'm saying. The way that you win in this business is activity. You can determine what that activity is, how much activity you're willing to do. How many people are you showing? How many boomerangs are you giving away? How many trips have you taken? How many trips have you booked? How many testimonies do you have of somebody going to your website or their website and booking because you referred them. That's all activity. See, when I join a business, the human mind says, how do I create a win-win situation? And if you really focus on what I'm about to say, there's no way in the world your business can ever stop growing. Whether it's you bringing in new ambassadors, whether it's you bringing in new free customers, whether it's you building internationally, whatever it is, it's still activity. And activity is being the message that you bring, using the product that you represent. I'm the message that I bring. I book using my website. I made one booking already this year, and the savings that I got from that one booking pays for my entire annual membership or dues. That's a win-win situation. So the more activity that happens in your organization, or the more activity that you're putting into your product, the more win-win stories you're going to be able to tell people. The first thing that I want people to do, remember, this is day one. This is day one in iBoomerang. This is your first day in iBoomerang for all of us. So what are you going to do in the next 7 days to create a win-win situation in your business? If you spend $1,000 to start your business here in iBoomerang, how fast can you create a win-win situation? Some people say ROI. I don't say that when it comes to this business. What I say is create a win-win situation, because the new way of making money is saving money. So saving more than you spent is a win-win situation. Making more than you spent is the win-win situation. A win-win situation is defined by basically whatever I spent, I'm winning. You can create that just with activity alone. So here's the thing. Are you the message that you bring? Are you booking on your own website? The only way you're going to be able to create your testimonies is using your product, getting customers to go book. We have people that are saving, we have people who have customers that have saved so much on their very first booking that the savings commissions that they made created a win-win situation. How did that happen? It's activity. Can you predict it? No, I can't predict where my free customers are going to book. I can't predict if they're going to save $5 or $1,000. That's none of my business. Here's the point. You're making it your business. It is none of my business. I got to keep calm. I start coughing. It's none of my business. You pour me a little bit more water in there. It's none of my business. It's only my business to keep swinging, to stay in the game, to continue, thank you, to continue to dig for those win-win situations. So, back to your character. If someone says no to you, how big is that no? Is that no big enough to make you slow down? Is that no big enough to make you throw in the towel? You go to your family member, you're super excited about iBoomerang, you share it with them. You in your heart of heart, you know they're going to say yes. And they say no. They say not now. And that no is so big that it emotionally destroys you and your business. That means that person's no was bigger than your character. Here's my challenge for you. Never have an emotional connection to whether someone says yes or no. Like literally, never have an emotional connection to someone who says yes or no. I'm not emotionally connected to a yes or a no. And the reason I program myself to be that way is because if I get emotional about a yes, that means I'm also going to get emotional about a no. It doesn't mean I'm not happy about somebody saying yes, but I'm moving. I keep going. I start, working with that person. The first, 72 hours in the business. What is the game plan? So I don't really have time to get emotional about it. I stay in that business mode. And here is how I train myself. Let's say you go to a restaurant. Say you go to a 5-star restaurant. You have an incredible meal. Service is amazing. Everything is top shelf. And at the very end, The service professional comes to you and says, here's the dessert menu. And they go through this whole presentation of all of their dessert. And they do a flawless job. And the dessert looks good. And you say no. What if that service, that professional service person says, gets an attitude, walks away, goes back in the back in the kitchen and tells her boss, dessert doesn't work. I did a great presentation and they said no. Wouldn't you think that person was weird? It's like, they just didn't want any chocolate cake. No offense to you. They didn't want any dessert. They were full. A professional service person in a restaurant cannot have an emotional attachment to whether you say yes or no to dessert. That's how I feel about iBoomerang. See, when I know what I am serving to people is going to help them, it's going to bless them, it's going to bring increase into their life. See, when I know that everything that I represent is designed to be good, if you say no to that, you're not saying no to me. You're saying no, you don't want anything good. So I picture myself as being a waiter or a waitress. Not a waitress, but a waiter. I picture myself serving at a 5-star restaurant. I picture myself serving the most amazing dessert on the planet. And if somebody says no to that, they're not saying no to me. They just don't want any freaking dessert. The exact same way that I don't have an emotional attachment in iBoomerang is the exact same way that I don't have an emotional attachment to, a waiter or a waitress should not have an emotional attachment to whether you want dessert or not. I want you to emotionally disconnect from anybody who says yes or no to you. If they say yes, bam, you get them plugged into the system. You get them going. And what it does is it creates this inner beast inside of you where there's no feelings, there's no emotions. And some of you say, well, Johnny, everybody in my family said no. If I can't get anybody in my family to join, listen. I was a multi-millionaire in network marketing before one blood relative joined my team. And let that sink in. I was a multi-millionaire in network marketing before one blood relative joined my team. I didn't join the network marketing industry so my family could be successful. I want them to be. I want my friends to get excited about what I'm excited about. But if they're not, it's none of my business. See, here's the only reason why somebody's no will knock you out of the game. And you would say, well, who would leave iBoomerang? Who would quit something that's amazing? Who would walk away from the company that's poised to be the greatest giant that's ever been rolled out in the network marketing industry, that's showing people how to do what they already love to do? Who would walk away from that? The same crazy waiter or waitress that would walk away from a 5-star restaurant job because someone said no to dessert. That's literally how I feel about it. You don't have, your no doesn't have the power to detach me from my why, my WHY. My good friend Bobby Miner says this. He says, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not big enough. My why inside iBoomerang is bigger than me. It's greater than me. It's my children. It's my children's children. See, I have to have daily conversations with myself to keep myself grounded. And my daily conversations to myself is, how big is your character, Johnny, today? How big is your character as you are going to start the process of sharing iBoomerang today with new people? Is somebody's no so powerful that it knocks you away from your yes, which is your personal defining moment? The moment I said yes, My yes is greater than every single person on the planet's no. I just have to feel that way from the inside out. See, I'm a walking, talking giant in this business, not because I'm better than anybody else. Maybe my conversation to myself is better than most people. Johnny's not easy on Johnny. Johnny pushes Johnny. And you say, well, how do you do that? How do you push yourself every day? I listen to Holton Buggs. I'll read Erling Buggs' book. Well, I thought that book was for women. No, I want to know how to build with powerful women, so I'm going to read her book. I'm listening to Edwin Haynes. I'm listening to Fernanda. I'm listening to all our great leaders from around the world. Why? I surround myself around the thinking that outthinks me. The only way that you can really continue to build this thing in an incredible way, I'm talking about nonstop, ongoing. I'm not saying you're not going to have bad days. You are. And that's why I want you to understand that reset button. That's why I want you to understand your character. Because when you do have a bad day and you walk away from whatever it is, you've got to identify in the moment. That was bigger than my character, and I don't want that to happen again in my business. People will walk away from blessings because they don't understand how to identify with the fact that, listen, my character's just not big enough to handle that objection yet. So let me go surround myself around the thinking that outthinks me. Let me go on iBoomerang's Facebook page and just start scrolling down and watching and listening to all the past flight schools as much as possible. That's how Johnny builds his character. Johnny gets away from his own thinking. And if I have to do that, how much more do you have to do that? If I have to surround myself around the thinking of Edwin and Holton and all of our great leaders from around the world, if I have to do it, how much more do you have to do it? You have to surround yourself around the thinking that outthinks you if you want to progressively build this thing. Well, listen, I know some of you listening right now, you just joined iBoomerang in the last 24 hours, 72 hours. And it's perfect for you because now I'm dealing with your mindset. Now I'm dealing with your mindset. And the mindset is going to be your power that's going to catapult you into the future. And it's going to be the consistent thing that continues to catapult you moving forward. And everything that you do in iBoomerang, here's what I want you to understand. You are moving backwards or you're moving forward. You're moving backwards or you're moving forward. There is no in between. So today, as you're watching this around the world, doesn't matter which day you're watching, ask yourself, am I moving backwards right now or am I moving forward? Everything you do in this business and everything that you don't do in this business is going to go backwards or forward. Now, listen, I'm not saying don't make a mistake. Making a mistake, you can make a mistake moving forward. And I will applaud that as long as you're not breaking the law, as long as you're not lying to people or manipulating people or misleading people. Don't do that. That's what the other companies do. Don't bring that into this company. I'll just say it like this. Don't bring that into my company. Now, I don't own iBoomerang, but I take full responsibility to expose anybody who's building this thing the wrong way. I build this thing with the integrity of Mr. and Mrs. Buggs. So I'm not saying you can't make mistakes, and you will. I do. I'm just saying make sure you're making mistakes that are moving forward. In other words, maybe you just screwed up the presentation. Whatever it is, I don't care. Just make sure that you're moving forward. That's progression in your business. I want you to be committed to the commitment. What is your commitment? You really got to do this. Why did you join iBoomerang? Why? Why are you here? And your why is good enough. It doesn't have to be my why. You can say, listen, I want to use iBoomerang to pay for my children's private school. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. If somebody makes you feel bad about that, let me know they made you feel bad about it. If a single mother comes to me and says, Johnny, will you teach me what I need to do in the next 45 days to 90 days to build iBoomerang just to pay for my kids' private school? Absolutely, I'll show you how. I'm not going to say, are you crazy? Do you realize This is a multi-billion-dollar opportunity. You should be focused on getting a slice of that pie. You should be focused on becoming a millionaire in iBoomerang. No, I can't do that. I got to respect and honor the fact that all they want from it, all they want is to literally use iBoomerang to pay for their children's private education. It's okay, but you got to be solid on your why. What do you want from iBoomerang? Write that down. What do you want? You want to know what I want? I literally believe that I found a vehicle, and this is going to sound crazy, but I'm crazy, and I'm okay with crazy. I got somebody over in the other room that flew in last night. I think he's crazy. I literally think this guy is crazy. And here's why I think he's crazy. Because he really believes, coming right out of the gate, he's going to be able to create multiple success stories through people who don't even know how to spell network marketing. That's crazy to me. I like crazy. I like crazy. Crazy for me is I want to create 100 millionaires in iBoomerang in the next 10 years. I know it's crazy. Well, Johnny, how did you go from helping a single mother who just wants to use iBoomerang to pay for their kids' private education to helping over 100 people become millionaires in iBoomerang? Well, I've been doing this for 20 years. I've already helped over 30 people. I want to do the next 70 in one company, iBoomerang. I really believe that's what we have our hands on. I really believe in my heart that this is the company, the only company on the planet where I can do that. Why? It's the vision of Mr. Holton Bugs. It's understanding the power of the Prib. And when you truly understand that and you understand what you have your hands on, that's why I'm okay with somebody who just wants to use iBoomerang to get their kids a private education, because I know along the way that same person will realize what they really have their hands on, and they'll appreciate the fact that I honored and respected what they wanted from this. Somebody may be watching this right now and say, listen, I just want to go on a few extra holidays a year that I'm not doing right now. Let me show you how to do that. Somebody may be saying, listen, I want to work 4 days a week instead of 5 days a week. Let me show you how to do that. I believe we have that opportunity, but you've got to be attached to your why. Write that down. Write your why down, your WHY. And if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not big enough. My why, it's my children's. You know, my first memory of life was living in a battered women's shelter. So my why has always been, I refuse to allow my children's first memory to be a struggle or to be pain. Listen, I have an 18-year-old, I have a 16-year-old, I have an 8-year-old. From the day my first child, even before I had a wife, actually, even before my wife got pregnant, I would always think to myself, my children's first memory in life will not be a struggle like mine was. And that catapulted me to where I am today, because I'll die for my kids. You got to find something that will allow you not to quit when someone says no. The reason you'll get emotional when someone says no is because you're not attached to your why, your WHY. My why is so big that your no has no value in my life. Well, who would say no to iBoomerang? Trust me. People will borrow their past to determine their future all the time. People will borrow their past to determine their future. They won't even look at it based on what somebody else showed them in the past. And that's okay. That's okay. Let them watch your lifestyle. Post on Facebook, post on Instagram. That's why I love the fact that we are a fun-based company, because everything that we're about, I'm posting, I'm sharing. And guess what happens? That same person who says no ends up watching, ends up starting to like, and they start dropping you DMs. Okay, man, I'm ready to see what you're talking about. But that won't happen if you're not being the message that you bring. So you got to be the message that you bring. Use the product, be a product of the product, all right? I want to talk about ranks. Now I'm going to level up just a little bit, and I'm going to talk to existing representatives and also new representatives or ambassadors. But I want you to understand, everything about our company is about recognizing individuals who are moving up in ranks. That's where you want to be. Now, as we're getting ready to build up for Accelerate in 2 weeks in Houston, Texas, here's what's crazy. There's somebody right now who's listening to me that just joined in the last 24 hours and they booked Accelerate. And there are people who are listening to me who've been in for 5 months who haven't booked Accelerate. What's the difference? The person who just joined yesterday who booked Accelerate is committed and excited. They're close to their PDM. They're close to their personal defining moment. It's only 24 hours ago. See, the closer and the more you can stay connected to your PDM, your personal defining moment, that's how you get people to stay close to the fire. Now, as powerful as I would love to be, love to think that I am as a leader, I would not be the leader that I am today unless I taught myself and forced myself to stay close to the fire, even when I didn't feel like it. Flight school, this is fire. Emails, sounds crazy, but that's fire. Logging into your back office, that's fire. Stay close to the fire. And this is no exaggeration, every time I have experienced multiple ranks popping in my business, and that's, rank is, basically you moving up in the compensation plan, for those of you who are new. So whether you're a director, senior director, executive director, sapphire, emerald, whatever the order is, it doesn't matter. You're moving up in ranks, and we recognize that from the stage. The only way that I have been able to maintain fast growing ranks in my organization is I'm a master at getting people to events. I wouldn't even say I'm a master at presentations. I wouldn't even say I'm a master at recruiting. I'm a master at promoting for events. Every time I go to an event, I look at percentages, and I'm going to share one of my secrets with you. All right. This is how Johnny holds Johnny accountable. Let's say that at the last event was called Vision. Was it Vision? Going blank.
Dream Weekend?
Yes. Dream Week. No, Florida.
Yeah, Dream Weekend.
That was the last one, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Florida. The last event. This is how Johnny holds Johnny accountable. All right. As a matter of fact, I was at the launch event in Las Vegas. Not too many people know that because I was hiding. And I was there by myself. And the feeling that I had was a little bit different because I never show up for an event by myself. The next event, I had a few hundred people there. Now, I go by percentages. I'm not going to have a few hundred people in Houston. And I'm going to back down a little bit because I want you to be able to relate to this for the new people. Let's just say at the last event, you had 10 people at that event. And now listen, we got people coming in from all over the world. We got people coming Accelerate from all over the world. And let's just say at the last event, I had 10 people. And let's just say at this event, I have 20 people. Well, that's a 100% increase from event to event. That's how I judge myself. I don't judge myself based on numbers because my numbers sound too impressive. I judge myself based on percentages. Percentages hold you accountable. See, I can have 300 people at Accelerate and that sounds good. But the truth is that's what I had at the last event. So that means I did not grow from event to event. So I do based on percentages. So if you had 5 people at the last event and you have 10 people at this event, you had 100% increase. That's what you want. You want to base on percentages. So if you're a leader and you see yourself as a leader, here's how you know that you're a leader, because your percentages from event to event increases, okay? Secondly, the power of the event is it doesn't matter who you are and what you think about me, how you like my hair, it doesn't matter. I guarantee you there will be somebody who walks the stage at a new rank at Accelerate, a new rank that wasn't even in the business during the last event. Let me repeat what I just said. See, here's how Johnny talks to Johnny. It doesn't matter if I participate, it's still going to grow. So Johnny, if it's going to grow with or without you, it might as grow with you. This is the kind of accountability that I put on myself. I know that people are going to walk rank at the next event. So if it's going to be somebody, it might as well be me. And if it's not me, now here it is. This is me being real. This is Johnny talking in the mirror. Johnny, if you're not on stage at the next event at a new rank, that's because you didn't want it bad enough. Now, if I talk to me like that, I'm definitely talking to you like that. So here's the thing. I want you to have a Me Too attitude. If somebody's going to walk rank at the next event, say Me Too. It might as well be you. It's going to happen whether you show up or not. There is somebody who has joined since the last event. They didn't know about the last event. They didn't know how to spell iBoomerang at the last event. And the last event was in October or November? December. I had a surgery. So yeah, right after I left, I literally went home the next day and had a surgery. So in December was the last event. There are people who couldn't even spell iBoomerang in December who have joined since then, and they'll be on stage walking at a new rank. I know that to be a fact. I've got people coming from France who was not in iBoomerang in December that will be on stage, all the way from France, all the way from Canada, all the way from Africa, all the way from the United Kingdom, all the way from Greece and Cyprus, just around the world, Russia. And they will be here coming to Accelerate. Couldn't spell iBoomerang 2 months ago, but they're going to walk at a new rank. All you got to do is say Me Too. All you got to do is subscribe to the mindset. You may say, Johnny, we only got 14 days. Yes, you get 14 days. You see the difference in the mindset? The mindset of limitation versus the mindset of opportunity. If you focus on your limitations, you get to keep them. I only have 14 days. How can I register and get to Accelerate? Wham! If you argue for your limitations, that's what you get in life, limitations. If you argue for the opportunity, that's what you get, opportunity. I got 14 days? I got a whole 14 days to get to Accelerate? I guarantee you, there's somewhere, like right now, we got a lot of activity going in Greece. I haven't even told Mr. Bugs yet. We got a lot of activity going on in Greece and Cyprus right now. I guarantee you, there will be people coming from Greece that will walk the stage at a new rank at Accelerate that's only been in for 3 weeks. And they're coming from Greece. They got to get visas. There's a lot of things that these individuals have to do to get into America. And some of you are in America and you're not even registered. If you're not registered for Accelerate, it's okay. You hit that reset button. I forgive you. Forgive yourself. This is day one, but go get your butt registered for Accelerate. Well, Johnny, how am I going to get there? Sometimes how is none of your business. I guarantee you, if you register, I'll see you there. You'll make it happen. You'll make it happen. We got people come from the East Coast. We got people come from Baltimore. They're loading up vans. They're chartering buses. iBoomerang charters buses? No, they don't charter buses. The leader charters buses. Guys, it's a whatever it takes type mindset. What if you could make a decision today that can literally change the trajectory of your life forever? Would you do it? Give you an example. This is a Hublot watch. Hublot watch, I think I paid about $15,000 for this watch. If I told you that, you know what, I'm not going to do this. I have a Rolex that's valued at about $30,000. Because sometimes people, Hublot, Rolex, whatever it is. If I told you, if you book Accelerate and you get to Houston, Texas, and I will give you my Rolex or my Hublot, would you be there? Yes, you would. Why? Because you can see it. You can see the instant value. He's like, well, it'd probably take me about a few $100s to get to Houston, and I walk away with a $15,000 or $30,000 watch. That's how ordinary people think, because you can see it. I would never value my life based on something that's tangible and something that I can see right now. I'm valuing my life and iBoomerang for what I can't see and what doesn't exist yet. The opportunity that you have your hands on right now is far more greater than a watch. It's far more greater than a Lamborghini. It's far more greater than $1 million home. This is your life. And that's how I look at iBoomerang. And people say, man, Johnny is crazy. I have to be crazy. You don't know what I've been through in life. You don't know what I've had to overcome in life. I went through hell. Life wasn't easy for me as a kid. So I have to think crazy. I am that guy that will take a risk. I am that guy that will bet on myself. Because when nobody else that I could depend on, Johnny could depend on Johnny. And that's the kind of mindset that you have to get to accelerate. Well, Johnny, what if it doesn't work? I'm not that guy. I'm not a what if it doesn't guy. I'm a what if it does guy. Johnny, what if it doesn't work? What if it does work? What if it does change the rest of your life? What if it changes the trajectory of your life? What if you're going this way and coming to accelerate takes you this way for the rest of your life? There's only one way to figure out if it happens. You got to participate in your rescue. Everybody wants to be rescued from something. Like right now, I'm Blue Diamond. I'm tired of being Blue Diamond. And some of you want to be Blue Diamond. I want you to want to be Blue Diamond. But at some point, you should get tired of being Blue Diamond. I'm fed up. When I log into my back office, I am disgusted by the fact that I still see Blue Diamond. Well, Johnny, you had a major surgery on your spine, bro. Give yourself a break. That's an excuse. It's an excuse. I can either have Black Diamond or I can have excuses. I can't have both. That's how I talk to me. You see what I'm saying? I don't miss events because I need to catapult my trajectory into where I say I want to go in life. I want to be rescued from Blue Diamond. Some of you have been celebrating the fact that you're Sapphire for months. And that's cool. I'm not criticizing you. I celebrate where you want to be. If you want to be Sapphire at every event, I want you to be Sapphire at every event. Why would you want me to want something for you that you don't want for you? I will never push you into a land that you don't want to go to. So if you're satisfied that every time I see you, you're a diamond, that's cool. If you want to be diamond every time I see you, then I want you to be diamond every time I see you. But I'm telling you right now, every time you see me, I'm not going to want to be Blue Diamond. Well, dang, Johnny. I'm looking at the income average for a Blue Diamond, and that's in the top 1% of America's income. That's not where I want to be. That's not where I want to be. I want to rank up. I want increase. God created us to evolve. It's the world that programs us to believe to be passive or to be content. No, I can't be content. I want more. Well, Johnny, it's selfish to want more. Prove it. Everybody wants more. Why do you go to work? You want more. Why do you wake up to be at work on time? Because you want more. I want more in this business. Give yourself permission to get more. Now, you hit the reset button. We just started from scratch. This is your first day in the business. And you may say, man, I wish I had that mindset 3 months ago when I joined. You just joined. You just joined. The cool thing about this industry, the cool thing about iBoomerang is you can hit reset right now. Forgive yourself for anything that you've done in the past. You're like, Johnny, I threw up on everybody that I told about iBoomerang. I just, you're going to be a million, and I ran them away. Forgive yourself. It's okay. That was practice. Well, Johnny, how do I go back to those people? Here's a quick hint. It's called the apology approach. You go back to somebody. You go to the apology approach. So let's say that T. Gray, I called T. Gray and I was super excited about our boomerang, and I'm new in the business. I don't know what the heck to say. I'm like, we're going to travel. We're going to save, proprietary technology, global corporations. Blah, blah, blah. I sound like everybody else he's ever talked to when it comes to home-based businesses, and I throw up all over him when I should have just sent him an I decide. So here's how you do it. T. Gray, man, listen, I apologize. I showed you something amazing in a very wrong way. And now looking back at it after going through one of my first trainings on flight school, I realized I threw up all over you, man. And I apologize. Will you please just give me 15 minutes of your time to show you the right way? T. Gray's going to feel sorry for me. It's the apology approach. Nobody's going to say, no, I don't accept your apology. Don't ever show me anything else. You're just basically saying, man, listen, I apologize. I showed you something amazing the wrong way. And I got trained how to do it the right way. I don't care if you're interested or not. Just let me make it up to myself for me. Emotionally, let me do it for me. Just give me 15 minutes to show you the right way. And I promise you, you'll never hear from me again. It's the apology approach. Nobody's going to say no to that because you're humbling yourself. And everybody wants to help people. And that's them helping you. Just quick, quick whatever. So wrapping this thing up, bringing this plane in for a landing so we can get back up in the air. More important than anything else, get to accelerate. Get to accelerate. Get to accelerate. Act as if there's $1 million prize waiting for you at Accelerate. Is there? It depends on what you turn it into. From event to event. And this is how Johnny talks to Johnny. From event to event, even if I don't show up, there's going to be somebody new on stage walking a new rank that has never been to an event before. So if it's going to be a new person who's never been to an event, then it might as well be me. It might as well be me. Give yourself permission for it to be you walking stage at a new rank. Us recognizing you at a new rank. Even if you don't come, it's still going to happen. So if it's going to happen, it might as well be you. You got your reset button. You understand your character. Your character has to be bigger than a no. Whatever causes you to walk away and give up, that was bigger than your character. Get your character up. Watch every flight school that you can go watch, scroll, listen to every message, watch every video, go to YouTube and Google iBoomerang and look and listen to your top level leaders. Get that stuff in your head that builds your character. When someone says no to you, don't get emotionally attached to that. It's just like a waiter or a waitress, you telling them, no, I don't want dessert. They're not going to get emotional attachment. They're not going to be like, dessert doesn't work. They're going to say, okay, let me get your bill. Take your time. No rush. Same thing. Listen, it's just not for you. It's cool. Thank you for your time. I greatly appreciate it. Who do you know that actually likes to have fun? Just kidding. Don't tell them that. I actually would say something like that. And you got to understand, somebody's going to walk the stage, so it might as well be you. Be the message that you bring. Be a product of the product. Brand yourself with the product, not just by wearing the product, by using the product. Using the product and create that win-win situation. That win-win situation is you using the product, you getting free customers, and creating an atmosphere where it's a win-win. Popping ranks, man. Popping ranks. Subscribe to the mindset from event to event. You want to see yourself at a new rank. I hold myself to that level of accountability. I'm going to end with this. I want you to take a screenshot. The screenshot, this is my first flight school of many, I'm sure, but I want you to take a quick screenshot. And here's something that I use to help people start DMing me, asking me questions. What was that about? So I want you to take a screenshot of me, take a screenshot of everybody who's on flight school and post it all over the place. And just say, listen, We just have, a mentor, Listen, if you're like me, I love using borrowed credibility. Find a picture with me and Oprah or me and Steve Harvey or whatever on television and use hey, this is my new business partner. I am your business partner. You are my business partner. So I just got off a call with my new business partner. Trust me, it's going to get people to ask you, what was that about? And that's how the door opens. Take your screenshot. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. My official first flight school. God bless you guys, Johnny Wimbrey. Tag me. I want to see your screenshots.